Amendola firing, touchdown!
Tonight's Coaches Show with Norwin Knights coach Dave Brozeski is presented by the Ground Round near the Westmoreland Mall in Greensburg. Whether it's specialty burgers and sandwiches, one-of-a-kind fajitas, or one of their homemade dinners, we've got what you like at the Ground Round.
Welcome back to the Steve Harper pregame show, and now we go inside the Ground Round Coaches Show with Norwin head coach Dave Brozeski. Ground Round in Greensburg, we've got what you like. Coach, welcome into tonight's pregame show, and coming off of a Week 1 win last week at Latrobe, just take us through that game and what you thought about that game.
Oh, I mean, I was very proud that we were able to come out of that game with W. That was proud of the boys, the way they executed and made some plays throughout the course of the game. We knew it was going to be a tough game. That game went well into the third quarter. We were back and forth with Latrobe, and we were able to have a pretty solid third quarter, which helped us end up sealing the victory going into the end of the game.
You talk about that third quarter. I think one of the key elements of that third quarter was a reserve running back in Kyle Turkowski. Did you guys really expect that out of him? Is that something we should see more in the future of? Is the use of Kyle?
I hope so. It's one of those things where Kyle does a nice job. He's one of those guys that doesn't say anything. He's a great hard worker, and he's got a unique skill set. He's real quick, smaller stature kid. He's a good wrestler, and it's a good change of pace there from whenever Peyton, and Nick. You got some bigger guys that are got some skill and ability as well, but then you start getting a little bit of change up, a little quicker, smaller back, and get him behind our line, and sometimes you might not be able to see him as quickly as you need to, and by the time you see him, he might be past you there. So I was really pleased with how Kyle performed there on Friday.
Last week we talked about how the secondary was only returning one starter in Jonathan Lichetto. Can you talk about how you thought the secondary performed last week against Latrobe?
I thought they did well. I thought there was some plays that we had opportunity-wise that we made. We had only one interception, and that was by Kyle Turkowski. It was down in their end zone as they were going into the end zone, and big turnover there. We had some other opportunities that we were able to break up the passes but not make the picks and everything. But overall, I thought the secondary played well. Every week it's going to be a new deal with those guys that learning from experience. And this week, I expect him to definitely test our secondary, and we'll see what happens tonight.
The defense as a whole, though, you guys didn't really let Latrobe into your half of the field until I think it was late in the first half. Just talk really about the defense as a whole. I mean, Nick Amendola seemed like he was all over the field defensively.
Oh, he was. I thought, I don't have the actual stat line in front of me, but I know that Nick was everywhere. I mean, it was one of the things you watch the film and assess everything. You get a feel of it on the game day, but then you watch the film and Nick was everywhere. And I thought as a whole, we were flying the ball well. I thought Steve Petra came off the line well at the front. Hayden Rice, who was our nose tackle, did a real nice job going off the line. And Dante Rizzo at the other 5 technique helped out. As well as Tyler Class, who was able to rotate in and give us some quality time at the D-line area. I thought Drew Phipps for his first varsity game did a real nice job. Was able to go through there, and we had a lot of guys that were, moving the ball pretty well and working on playing physical. We want to see that next step of the physical play and making the offense earn everything as opposed to making it, cheap and easy for them.
I know this year you did it last year as well. You guys had the fourth captain, voted on by the team. Who's your fourth captain this week, and what did they do to really earn that spot?
Well, that's something, again, I brought with me. It was something that we did whenever I was playing for Coach Sean Luckhart at Washington Jefferson. I thought it was just a real, a neat honor that your teammates spoke every week. And this week, it was pretty unanimous that Nick Amendola is our game captain for this week, and I think it's a great decision. He's a leader, whether he has a captain role or not. It's one of the things that our senior class, we have a great senior class and a lot of leaders on that senior class, and it's just another way to kind of keep a lot of guys involved in everything.
Coach, you guys have Hempfield tonight. Can you give us a little bit of a scouting report on what we should expect out of the Spartans tonight?
Oh, you're going to expect a very hard game out of the Hempfield Spartans. Coach Bowen does a good job getting all these guys ready to go. They come off of a loss last week versus Plum, but Plum's a very quality team, and they have some playmakers on offense. I mean, Washington, number 25, and Walters, number 4, are definitely keys on the offensive side that we're looking at. Those are guys that have game-breaking ability and can score pretty much anytime they touch the ball. And they got some speed at receiver with, I forget the name here, but the number 10, there's a receiver there, number 10, and then number 12. They have some nice skill on the outside. Defensively, they definitely responded at times to Plum and came off the ball and was flying to the ball with us. It's going to be a tough game tonight, and we're hoping that we can match their intensity and go out there and be able to execute our game plan well and hopefully come out with a W.
All right, thanks, Coach, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And again, we thank you for joining us here on the Ground Round Coaches Show, Ground Round in Greensburg. We've got what you like.